It's done. I have the Hound. The Kro'khad fusion is finished. But now comes the real test. Let's put Kro'khad to the test against the top tier Hydra damage dealers and see where exactly does he rank. Does he live up to the hype? Let's find out. Hey guys, SMZ here. We back playing Raid Shadow Legends, and yes, Kro'khad the Hound, or whatever it is called, the Throat Ripper. He rips out the throat. He's also one of the free champions. If you look at this, like they've added this kind of focus blur effect that his helm is visible, but if you turn him, then that blur is gone. The focus is gone. This is kind of a cool thing to have, to be honest. But today in this video, what we are gonna do is we are going to run, thanks to Plarium's new quick battle feature, pumping up all the way to 9. We're going to check a lot of different meta damage dealers and how they compare to Kro'khad and his damage. Of course, we will be pairing him with Shayak. So let's quickly look at the build. So Kro'khad I've built in a 6-piece Merciless and a 2-piece crit damage set, and his total stats look something like this, with almost 6.5k attack, 330 on the crit damage, and 246 on the speed. He only has a 1-star blessing. That means that I've given him Nature's Wrath. It's a tiny increase, only by 2% and up to 6%, which is it's tiny bit, but hopefully once we get the soul, Plarium did promise a soul event, so that should be happening hopefully soon. Then we can pump up his damage even more. There's a free champion that you can get by using the link in my description. That is Narma the Return, a great champion to battle the Demon Lord. And you can get her alongside other crazy good epic champions like Anax, like Uugo, and like Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. How to get these champions for free? Here's how to do it. You go into your Plarium Play and log out of your current account. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Download the game and then play the tutorial, and you will find Narma sitting there chilling in your inbox. And you can get all of these crazy good epic champions as you progress through the game. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Click the link in the description and get these cool champs. And then I've given him the Coronet Relic. Now this relic stacks the damage up to 30%, which is crazy bonkers. The only thing that changes with how high up you take this relic is how fast he gets to this 30 number. So even if it's +9, +12, doesn't really matter, because the Hydra fight is essentially gonna be a long-term fight where he is gonna reach the 30% number, because he does place these 2 debuffs, and I do not need to build accuracy into him because I will have the Pack Master on the team. So who is he going up against? He is going up against some of my most meta nukers when it comes to the Hydra. So of course I'm gonna be testing him against Ninja. I'm gonna be testing him against Carnage the Anarch. I'm gonna be testing him against Thor Bayhammer, another amazing fusion champion. He's one of the reasons that I just rushed through the faction wars when it comes to the barbarians, and then Ninja did the same for the Shadowkin, to be honest. I am also gonna be testing him against another very cool champion, if I can ever find this guy. Excuse me, I am looking for Michinaki. No, I said Michinaki and I pulled up Mashald. I'm talking about Mashald, obviously, because I have a 6-star rend on him. He's also in a 6-piece Merciless set. And then I have Michinaki as well that I want to test out. And I will test him out with Ninja as well as Mikage. I know it's not a fair fight, but I will use the team that I have. I want to test what's good for my account. This is not going to be a very objective test where each and every number, the attack or defense number is going to be the same, the crit damage is going to be the same. No, it's not that. It's where does he lie, given that we play to the strength of basically every single nuker. And who am I missing? Am I missing somebody? I hope not. So I'm missing, let's do it like this so we get to him faster. We will test out Varl the Destroyer, a free champion that you get from completing the Doom Tower hard secret rooms, and he's a very good champion. He has his own passive which ranks up damage similar to Ninja, and then if you give him Earthy Coronet in addition to that, he's just freaking amazing. So these are the champions that I'm going to be testing out, and then I will nerd out a little bit because I will showcase to you this spreadsheet that I have in place, and we will compare everything. So these are all the nukers, the blessings they have, the relic, the gear that they have, and then the damage that they do. I'm going to run a 1 Hydra quick battle per damage dealer, and we will see what the damage number is, what the percentage is, and in the end we are going to rank them. So that is going to be the flow of the video. But let me now go through the team that I will run, the support team. So generally on Hydra, I would normally run 2 or 3 damage dealers. But for this particular fight, I'm gonna just run 1 damage dealer so we can have kind of a control setup for an effective test. So we are gonna have Lady Mikage as an ally attacker built up in 9-piece protection, and she's gonna basically allow for the ally attacks on her A3, and she's gonna also allow the Shadowkin people on her A1 to ally attack using their default skill as well. And yeah, she's gonna be a very good addition. Other than her, what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna have Lydia. So Lydia is gonna be also in a 9-piece protection set, very fast. She's gonna land those debuffs and provide us buffs to be able to pump up our damage a little bit more. And she does also have the Brimstone Blessing, which will help some more with damage. Not very relevant to this test, but I just didn't want to change the blessing over here. What we are also gonna run is we're gonna run, what's his name, Mad Hatter. We're gonna run Mad Hatter. Now Mad Hatter is one of the best utility champions when it comes to the Hydra, because he brings Hex, Weaken, and he also have given him basically a provoke set, so he also does that. So he brings like quite a few cool mechanics. Another thing he brings is, as part of his A2, the ally with the highest crit damage, which is going to be the nuker, in all these cases will join the attack. So he adds to the damage of them. So that's why he is going to be in the team as well. And then who am I missing? I think I'm missing my Reviver. My Reviver, who is going to be Duchess. Yes, Duchess is a champion that I pulled fairly recently after a long time. But she's going to be the champion who is going to be doing the revival, the block debuffs, the veil, so that we don't get eaten alive by the torment head. And yeah, she's going to be built very fast, also in a 9-piece protection set. There's kind of a theme to it, isn't there? And I believe that's going to be our team, unless I'm missing somebody out. Let's have a quick look. So let's see, am I missing somebody out? Nope, I think I've and Shayak, obviously. Let's look at Shayak quickly as well. So Shayak, I'm going to keep Shayak on basically for each fight, because yes, he enables the dog, but he also is a decent block buffs champion. So he's not in a 9-piece protection set. He's just built to be fast, and that's pretty much it. And enough accuracy to land his debuffs, obviously. Obviously, when the dog is going to be on the team, then he's going to get additional utility as well, based on the hex that he provides, as well as the ally attack on his A1. And his buffs are gonna get all protected, so that's gonna be great. Now, one disclaimer to begin with. I am gonna run this on hard Hydra, and the reason for that is the hard Hydra is where you are killing the heads quite fast, and you want to just keep killing heads. And that's where Kro'khad also comes in, with his ability to ignore life barrier on one of his abilities, so he can just smack through that, and poison cloud if it comes up. And secondly, I don't have a high enough blessing on him to warrant a fair fight when it comes to the higher stages. So he doesn't have 6-star rend, for example, to ignore a lot of defense. So it's not going to be a fair fight if I compare it on Nightmare. And I'm not even going to insult Marius by comparing him to him. But first off, he's a max HP damage dealer, so he's going to be pretty bad if you're going to run him on brutal or hard. You should run your max HP nukers on Nightmare and nothing else. And secondly, Marius in a 9-piece Slayer and the 6-star rend that I have, he's just gonna out damage everything anyhow. I've seen that, I've tested that. Once I have the Hound in a 6-star, then maybe we can come back here and run this test. But for now, I'm not gonna insult Marius, so I'm gonna stick to hard, and let's run the first test and let's see how it goes. I have 7 quick battles, and that is why I have 7 nukers basically that I have chosen to run. We're gonna start with the first one, and we're going to see how it pans out. So this is the team. I don't think I've selected a lot of presets. Mikage is not allowed to go into her form 2 basically. Otherwise, I think Shayak is supposed to prioritize his block buffs, but that's pretty much it, I believe. Maybe I should change Mad Hatter to also just do his I already have. Okay, perfect. Shayak does his 8-3, and that's all good. So let's run it. Let's go. The first contestant, Kro'khad the Throat Ripper, comes out of the throat. He's gonna run in the Hydra in this team. Let's see the damage that he can do. Let's go. We are running. We're on the way. 200 turns. Hopefully none of the runs go into a deep RNG aspect and they finish before the 1000 turns. I hope so. I hope that's gonna be the case. We're getting close to the first one. We are at 1000 turns, and here is the damage. So we have 608 million with Kro'khad doing 458. That is a crazy amount of damage that he's able to do with just one single nuker, guys. One single nuker. That's bonkers. I'm not able to do this kind of damage with 2 nukers in place. So maybe this is my new team, but let's see. Let's see, this is literally the first test. So what we're gonna do now is that we are going to jump into the spreadsheet. And what was the number here? I already forgot. 608.65 million. So the damage total is 608.65. How many zeros is it to consider a million? Let me put this. All right, back. So I finally figured it out. Apparently, I'm not very good at Google Sheets. I've used Excel previously, but not this one as much. Okay, so he did 458.7. So let's plug that in as well. 458.7. I'm gonna round off the remaining. So there you go. So he did 75% of the total damage. I mean, it's expected he's a single nuker going in the team. But let's jump into the next one. So the next contender that we have with us is none other than Mr. Where are you, Mr. Thor? There he is. Thor is an amazing champion who does a lot of damage. He was part of the Asgard event, and he is a part of this team normally. So let's see if he is able to maintain his spot in the team going forward. Let's go, Thor. Show us what you've got. Can you handle the challenge of the Throat Ripper? Let's find out. We're halfway through as on already. Again, hopefully goes to turn 1000. I think it will. There you go. Wow. 440.86 is the total damage. I think I did 10 too much. 440. What am I doing? And 10 will go away. Yep, perfect. So that's the total damage number. And Thor did 301.68. 301.68. There you go. So that is the number, and again I added 10 too many. There it is. So 68% of the total damage, but the overall damage is very different, to be honest. Like almost 200 million, or rather 150 million different, which is crazy. And you have to remember already, look at this, Thor has a 5-star Nature's Wrath, which means he's getting a much higher multiplier. He has Coronate plus 12, that does not matter much because you get to the 30% regardless. But this one does matter. He has 9-piece Merciless instead of 6-piece, which means he has a chance of getting an extra turn. He has some extra speed, some extra crit damage. This is bonkers, guys, already. But let's jump into the next one with Mr. Carnage the Anarch. Carnage is an amazing champion. Now, Carnage is not optimized for Hydra. He is in my arena build, but he does have 6-star range, which helps him out tremendously. So when it comes to Carnage, what I want to do is I want to open with this, and I never want him to go back to his first form. I want to keep him in his second form, in his damage form basically. And yeah, otherwise everything else should be fine. So let's see what Carnage can do. He's an amazing champion, but does he compare to Kro'khad? Let's find out. Let's go. And we are on. The race is on. We are going very fast. Halfway through already. Again, hopefully it runs all the way through. I think it will. And what is our damage looking like? 377. Even lower. Guys, I think we found the meta nuker. We found the meta nuke. So 377.22 with Carnage. 377.22. Did I get the zeros right? I did get the zeros right for a change. And 244.652. 244.652. There you go. 65%. It feels like I've already listed them in the order, apparently. I'll do the ranking towards the very end, but so far it looks like Kro'khad is in the lead, and by a lot, which is crazy. I did not expect this. Let's go into the next one. Who's our next nuker? Our next is Varl the Destroyer. Can he destroy the record that has been set by Kro'khad at the very top? Let's see. Where are you, Varl? I always have difficulty finding Varl for some reason. Can I search here? No, of course not. Of course I can't search here. The Varl is a 5-star. They are sorted here somehow. There he is. Okay, I got it, guys. I got it. In terms of his presets, I think I'll ask him to prioritize his A3 because sometimes he doesn't, because that is his money ability in which he does the most damage. And yeah, let's see what he can do. Varl the Destroyer, destroy that record. Let's see what you've got. And we're on our way once again, racing through towards the end. 700 turns, going to 1000 without fail. 433. The list is sorting itself. No, not really. I mean, it's better than Carnage. Again, Carnage is in a PvP build. You have to remember that it's not merciless, but still. So Varl to 433.67. Let's put that in. 443.67. Hopefully the right number of zeros. Looks like it. And then Varl is 294,876. 294,876. 3 zeros. There you go. So he's a bit better than Carnage in terms of the total damage, and then the with the percentage damage, and then the total damage to the Hydra is considerably higher. I would have to say. Again, you have to remember affinity also does come into play, but Varl and Carnage have the same affinity. So who's next on our list? Next on our list is Mashal. Is an incredible. I mean, he's a single target damage dealer, but because of the leech, he spreads his damage quite considerably. Now, where is Mashal? He's at 6 star, so he should be somewhere here. There he is. Not gonna go into his presets. I think he does things just fine. Let's go. Can you prove that you are a legendary tier nuker and defeat this doggo from the top? Let's see. So we are running our way through to turn 1000. 405. 405.85. That is not good. Not good whatsoever. 255, 134. 255, 134. And we are already a bit lower when it comes to Mashal. Let's continue with the next one. I think the next two are gonna give a challenge. Mishinaki and Ninja. They are definitely gonna give him a run for his money. So let's start with Michinaki. Michinaki also brings in his own Hex, by the way. And he does also bring his decreased defense and his counter attack on his A1, which goes bonkers with Mikage. But can he dethrone Kro'khad the Throat Ripper? Let's find out. We jump into the run and we are halfway through and we can get to turn 1000. That is the hope. Let's see if we can. What? Okay, Michinaki does a bit better on the higher difficulties. I think it's the difficulty that's kind of curtailing him because he's not able to do as much damage. So 322.56, 322.56, and the damage from Michinaki is 185.324, 185.324. There you go. Much lower on the list. This, as I said, this is basically sorting itself. Varl just needs to be above Carnage. That's pretty much it. And then finally, the final boss, and I have high hopes from Ninja, but again, Ninja does incredibly well on the higher difficulties. Let's see if that translates to the hard mode as well or not. Let's go. Ninja does have Mikage in his corner, so that does boost the damage quite a bit, but we will find out if Ninja can live up to his name and challenge Mr. Kro'khad. So we are almost through. Turn 1000 is approaching and we get 569. Guys, we found a new one. 569.18, and let's compare the list once I've added number. 419960, 419960, and of course 3 zeros are missing. There you go. Guys, this is incredible. What that means is that Kro'khad, again compared to Ninja, who's a 9-piece merciless, has 6-star rend. Kro'khad is still bonkers. Okay, now I'm even thinking once Kro'khad gets his rend, the 6-star rend, maybe he's gonna challenge Marius for the throne. Let's see. Right now he's not. I've already checked that. But this is incredible. This is not what I expected. So in terms of rankings, let's rank by the percentage of damage that they did, and then the second thing would be if there's a tie to look at the total damage that they did. So definitely Kro'khad wins. Ninja is definitely the second. The third one is Var, and then who's fourth? Third is Thor. Sorry, Varl is fourth. Fifth is gonna be Carnage, and Michinaki is gonna be, no, I've messed up. Fifth is gonna be Mashal, and then finally Michinaki in last spot. This is crazy. Kro'khad is amazing. He's much more menacing than I initially thought. I'm definitely gonna go hard for his soul. Hopefully they give us a 6-star soul. Normally they stop at 5-star, but even 5-star is gonna just benefit a lot. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. And let me know if you like this kind of style of videos, and I'm happy to run more tests. Now that we have a higher number of Hydra battles available, I could do this on different difficulties, different champions. So thank you very much for all your feedback in advance. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.